All right, students. Hope you did well on test 3. Here are the corrections. All right, number 1, 2x squared minus 4. We need to graph this parabola. I'm going to show you several things, but all you need to do is have the work and some of the things you don't need to know. So if I look at this, I see that we have a vertical shift of -4. So my parabola is going to end up being down 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's where my vertex is going to be. And I will write a table to plot my points, but I know that since it's 2x squared, I dealt with my -4. Since it's 2x squared, I know I'm going to have, what is this compared to my parent function? Don't forget your parent function is y equals x squared. That's my parent function, or f of x equals x squared. So how does this react to it? Well, it's a vertical stretch of 2. But I am going to go ahead and sketch it all out and see how it goes. So first one, the easiest one, 0. 0 squared is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. -4. 0 minus 4 is -4. Well, that's the one I already knew, right? 0, -4, because I have a vertical shift of -4. Perfect. Let's go with a 1. 1 squared is 1, times 2 is 2. 2 minus 4 is -2. And then, since this is my axis of symmetry, I know it's my axis of symmetry, or my line of symmetry, I'm going to go with a -1, and chances are I'm going to get a 2. But let's check. -1. -1 times -1 is +1. +1 times 2 is 2. 2 minus 4 is -2. Perfect. This is all lining up with what I had thought. So 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 4 is 4. -2. -2 times -2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 4 is 4. So there we have it. Let's plot these. 1, -2, 1, 1, 2. -1, -2, -1, -2. 2, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 1, 2. Since it's symmetrical, right? Because this is my axis of symmetry. So there's my graph. And then I'm just going to go straight down here because these are to find the line of symmetry and the vertex for these ones. So I'm just going to go ahead and answer these ones straight away. My line of symmetry, x equals 0. It's right here. My vertex is right here. It's 0, -4. And I hope you wrote it as a point because the vertex is a point. All right, let's check out this one. This one, I don't have any horizontal and vertical shift, actually. So my vertex is going to remain 0, 0. Now, I'm going to check it with the table, but that's what I think. I have this, so I have a vertical shrink. It's less than 1. So let's create my table. I'm just going to go down here and create the table right here since this is part of my problem. All right, x, I'm going to put 0. 0 times 0 is 0. So, yep, that confirms my vertex is right there. Let's do -1. And I have -1 squared is -1 times -1 is 1. 1 times -1/3 is -1/3. And so what if I have, I'm going to keep it going over here. What if I have 1? 1 squared is 1. I have -1/3. About 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 times -1 is -4/3. -2 is also going to be -4/3. I'm dealing with some fractions, so I'm gonna go ahead and do 3 just to make sure. So let's do 3 squared is 9. 9/3 is 3, so I have negative 3. So if you got that, 3 squared is 9. 9 times 1/3 equals 9/3. Can you see that? Sorry, it got a little bright. 3 squared is 9. 9 times 1/3, oops, it's negative 1/3, is negative 9/3. Negative 9/3 is negative 3. So that's the negative 3 that I got here. If I plug negative 3 in also, negative 3 times negative 3 is a positive 9, so I'm going to get the same answer. So negative 3 gives me negative 3. So now let's plot these points. Negative 1, negative 1/3. Negative 1, negative 1/3. 1, negative 1/3. 2, 1, 2. 4/3 would be 1 and 1/3. Negative 2 and 4/3. Then I have 3, negative 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then it's symmetrical. So there's my graph, my level, my line of symmetry, x equals 0, and my vertex is 0, 0. Please make sure you write it in a point. All right, now let's look at this one, last one. Oh, look, we have a vertical shift and a horizontal shift. So this is actually written in vertex form. If you recognize it, it's written in vertex form. You don't have to recognize it, but I'm going to go ahead and plot my vertex. Negative 3, 1, 2, 3. Negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, another thing, just to double check, just to make sure you're doing it correctly, this one's a positive, so it's a happy face. This one's a negative, so it's a sad face. This one's a positive, so it's going to end up being a happy face. So there's my vertex because it's written in vertex form. Negative 3, negative 5. Negative 3, negative 5. Right, it's the opposite of this and that. So negative 3, 5. There's my vertex. Now I'm going to go ahead and... So I know my line of symmetry, since that is my vertex. I know this is my line of symmetry. So my line of symmetry is x equals negative 3. So if it's written in vertex form, I know my line of symmetry. I guess in any of these, I know my line of symmetry. But okay, let's throw some numbers in. Let's throw a 0 in. Because 0 is not on my line of symmetry. So 0 plus 3, that would be 3. 3 squared is 9. 9 minus 5 is 4. So if I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, then my guess is I'll have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So let's check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's check negative 6. So negative 6 plus 3 would be negative 3. Negative 3 squared is 9. 9 minus 5 is 4. Sure enough, negative 6. There's my point. So let's check negative 1, 2. Let's check negative 2. That should get us pretty close to here. Negative 2 plus 3 is 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 minus 5 is negative 4. So let's check. So that was negative 2. Let's check negative 4. So if you see what I'm doing, I'm going 1 on this side of the axis of symmetry, 1 on this side of the axis of symmetry, just to make sure I'm correct. So negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. 1 minus 5 is negative 4. So here we go. Negative 2, negative 4. And then negative 4, negative 4. Negative 4, negative 4. Sure enough, there's my symmetry. So I'm going to say, though, that's enough points to get your graph. If you have that, those 5 point, 1, 2, 3, those are only 4, but then you have your vertex, so 5 points. I'm going to go ahead and just show you one more. I'm going to do negative 1, and then we know it's going to be symmetrical. So negative 1 plus 3, that's 2, so that's 4. So 2 squared is 4, minus 5 is negative 1. So negative 1, negative 1, and I got 1, 2, 1, 2. So there's my graph. There's my line of symmetry right there, and there's my vertex. All right, hope you got those. Those are fun. All right, use the zeros to graph the function f of x equals negative, there's a little negative sign right there, x plus 3 times x minus 2. Well, if you recognize, this is written in intercept form. So my intercepts are negative 3, 0, and 2, 0. So that's my intercepts. That's my x-intercepts. What are x-intercepts? X-intercepts are my zeros. That's what my zeros are. So this is a sad face, but negative 3, 0, 1, 2, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, 1, 2. So there's my zeros right there. And it's going to be a sad face. And then where's my axis of symmetry? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 1, 2. So here's my axis of symmetry right here in the middle. So my axis of symmetry is going to be negative 0.5. Or my line of symmetry. Well, we've been doing axis of symmetry this whole time. Davies does line of symmetry. We do axis of symmetry. So my axis of symmetry is 0.5. So I'm going to go ahead and plug 0.5 back into here. So I have negative 0.5 plus 3 times 0.5 minus 2. So I just plugged it into this equation. So I have negative 3.5 times a negative, what is this? 1.5. So 3.5 times 1.5, 5.25. So I have negative, oops. So I have this negative right here. And then when I multiply these two, I get negative 5.25. So a negative and a negative is a positive. So my vertex is 0.5, right? 0.5, 5.25. So vertex 0.5, 5.25. So 0.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's my vertex. Now what I'll do, actually that's enough information to plot it. So I can go ahead and plot it. Just because I want to be more specific, I'm going to plot 1. And then that'll give me my negative 2 also. So I'm going to plot 1. So I have negative 1 plus 3 times 1 minus 2. So I have negative 4 times 1. Oops, times negative 1. And so I have negative 4. So I have, since I put 1 in, got 1, 4. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then go 1.5, half 1. So there is my graph for my zeros. All right. Moving on. Find the zeros for these parabolas, factor and show work. So first factor, I can take out a 5. So if I take out a 5 from both of these, I'm left with x squared minus 4. And then I recognize a perfect square minus a perfect square. So perfect square, x plus 2, x minus 2. Now I'm finding the zeros, so I need to make this x plus 2 equals 0 and x minus 2 equals 0. Minus 2, so x equals negative 2. and then add 2, x equals 2. So there we have it. X equals 2 and x equals -2. All right. Okay, cool. Here's the trinomial that we get to factor. So we have an x and an x, and then we have to get to -18, and our factors have to equal -3. So 18 at 1, 18 at 2 times 9, 3 times 6, 4, 5, 6. Nope, that's it. Can we get to -3? Sure enough. -6 plus 3 is -3. So x plus 3, x minus 6, and that all equals 0, right? So I have x plus 3 equals 0, x minus 6 equals 0. Minus 3 plus 6. So there's my answers. X equals -3, and x equals 6. All right, graph the function, describe the domain and range. So if I'm going to graph this function, the first thing I'm going to actually do is I'm going to I'm going to factor it out. X squared plus 6x plus 2. Yeah, well, that sucks. So I'm just going to have to plug in. I'm going to have to plug in. There is no shortcut here. So I'm just going to have to make a table. So I'm going to ditch this because that doesn't matter. Oh, maybe it helps me. Let's plug in a 0. So I have 0 plus 0 plus 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. So I have 0, 4. It's upward. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here. Put this. Oh, I know what to do. I'm sorry. So 0, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm going to do, the easiest way, you could graph it, but let's do A, B, C. Let's find our axis of symmetry. And 2, 12, 4. Since we can't factor it, it'd be way better to do -b over 2a. So we have -12 over 2 times 2. So we have -12 over 4. So that is -3. So -3. So I'm going to redraw this. So our axis of symmetry is -3. So let's draw this. Let's draw this like this. -3. 1, 2, 3. So this is our axis of symmetry. The 0, 4 we got. Let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go through that point. So we already did that. So we're going to go through that point. You don't need that on your homework, but I'm going to use the information I already got. So now I'm going to plug this -3 in to find my vertex. So I have 2 times -3 squared plus 12 times -3 plus 4. So -3 squared, that's 9. 9, so that's 18. And then -3 times 12 is -36 plus 4. Positive 18, -36, so I have -18 plus 4. So that is -14. Great. So this is way the heck down here. Way down here. So our vertex is -3, -14. So let's just double check how right this was. So if I have 0, 4, let's go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So let's check negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So negative 6 should get us on 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 6 should get us to 4. So we'll plug in a negative 6. So 2 times negative 6 squared plus 12 times negative 6 plus 4. Sorry, it's getting a little crowded. So 2 times 36 minus 72 plus 4. 12 times negative 6 is the answer. So 2 times 36, that's 72 minus 72 plus 4. Hey, look at that. Did it, just like we thought. So we have negative 6, 4. So there we go. So we have this steep like that. Okay. Let's go over here. Negative 5x squared plus 20x minus 7. So we're going to go A, negative 5, B, 20, and C is negative 7. So negative 20 over 2 times negative 5, negative 20 over negative 10, so we get 2. So I'm going to put this is a negative. So we have our axis of symmetry is negative 2. So I'm going to put our line right here. And our axis of symmetry is 1, 2, negative 2. So there goes our axis of symmetry. I'm not sure where to put my x-axis because I don't know where we're going. I know we're a sad face though, right? So let's put our axis of symmetry here. Whatever, we'll just put it right there. Not axis of symmetry, I'm sorry, my x-axis. So my x-axis, my y-axis, and then here's our axis of symmetry. Let's plug that into our equation. We have negative 2, so we have negative 5 times negative 2 squared plus 20 times negative 2 minus 7. So that's 4. So we have negative 20 minus 40 minus 7. So we have negative 67. What? Okay. So our vertex is negative 2, negative 67. Well, that is incorrect. Oh, it's not a negative 2. That's a positive 2. Come on, Blue. Get your act together. Not a negative 2. It's a positive 2. So we have 4. So this is negative 20. And this is 40 minus 7. So now we have 20 minus 7. So we have 13. So we have 2. 13 is our vertex. Why did I put negative 2? I shouldn't use pen. How many times do I have to tell myself? So 2, 13, there's our vertex. Now I know that my C, that's my y-intercept. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 2 points in it. So let's check negative 1 and see where it gets us. So negative 1 squared is 1. So we have negative 5 minus 20 minus 7. That's not negative 1. Jeez, Lewis, that's a positive 1. Blue, what are you doing? 1. 1 squared is 1 minus 5. So that's negative 5 minus 20. No, plus 20 plus, hello, minus 7. So we have 20 minus 12, so that's 8. So we have 1, 8. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Okay, so there, wow, that's pretty steep. there, because if we got 1, then we go 1, 1. There's our point. Pretty steep. All right. Last 2. Here we go. Find the line of symmetry in the vertex of these parabolas. So our line of symmetry, we are going to be at 5, 1 is our vertex. So one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. So there's our vertex. And so our line of symmetry, vertex, line of symmetry is x equals 5. And then let's graph these. So since this is our vertex and this is our line of symmetry, let's go ahead and do 6 and 5. So we'll do 6. 6 minus 5, that's 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. So it's 1, 3. So we have 1, 3. Wait, I didn't do 1. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did 6. 6, 3. Now I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 4 minus 5, that's negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Here we go. So I got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Okay. Let's graph this guy. So we're going to go A, B, C. Oh, vertex of line of symmetry, x equals 5. Vertex is 5, 1. So A, B, C, A is 4, B is negative 48, and C is 7. So I have 48, so negative B over 2 times 4, 48 over 8, so that equals 6. So our line of symmetry, x equals 6. It's positive, so it goes up, so I'm going to start down here. X equals 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is our line of symmetry. And now I'm going to plug that 6 back into here so that I can get my vertex. So 4 times 6 squared minus 48 times 6 plus 7. Right? Because I just plugged in my 6. I plugged it into this equation. 4 times 36 minus 48. 48 times 6, 288 plus 7. So 4 times 36, 144 minus 288 plus 7. 144 minus 288 plus 7. Negative 137. 6, negative 137. Boy, I'm going to double check that one, because it says that my y-intercept is at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's going to be a pretty steep climb. Let's check. Yeah, okay. There's our vertex, 6, negative 137. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's check 5. So 4 times 5 squared is 25 minus 48 times 5 plus 7. So 148 times 5 minus 240 plus 7. So negative 140 plus 7. So negative 1 33. Okay, so I got 5 is at negative 133. Let's go for this one. Let's go for 1. See what we get. So that'd be 4. 4 minus 48 plus 7. So that'd be negative 44 plus 7. 37. So we get 1 negative 37. Well, let's check 0. Let's see if we get, 0, 0, 7. Okay. 0, 7. So there we go. Man, that is a steep parabola. Okay, there you go. Hope you did well, and we will see you in class. Let me know if you have any questions.